All right, we're back here, and as you saw, coming up next, our first of the three to be inducted tonight, none other than By the Greedy. And a way to start it out is going to be the first of two people inducting him, the man that started it all against Greedy when it came to Superstardom, and the man that's involved in the main event tomorrow night. Again, COO Brutality to induct Greedy.
Money. Oh, fuck.
The Hall of Fame isn't PG.
All right, take that back. But okay, money. That is the first thing that comes to mind when you think about this EIF superstar. But what you really should think about is loyal. This superstar has been put through a lot of shit, including forcing him to put his bio as the human Kumbotron. Not PG, guys. Plus so much more. Yet through everything, he has stayed loyal to everyone in this league, and especially to the league itself, with all the superstars. This guy has put in more than $1,000 to this league. And in return, this guy has accomplished so many things, like main eventing SummerSlam. Not only that, but has won both Undisputed Championships. Plus, he is the one who started my Superstar 1v1 streak. Thanks for that win, buddy. Which is now at 23-0. Unfortunately, though, I need to talk about something else for a quick second. As everyone knows, tomorrow I'm going for the Undisputed World Championship, and primarily have been an ED guy this year. Something you probably didn't know, though, is that I haven't competed on Superstardom since October 28th, and don't plan on competing on that brand ever again. I would like to officially announce my retirement from Superstardom. So that means no more me fighting to defend my streak, and no more Superstardom titles. It's been a long road for me. When this started and I beat Greedy in a one-on-one, I thought about Superstardom 5 years ago. I thought nothing of it. I was merely trying to win whatever match I was in, with hopes of trying to rise quickly in the EIF ranks. Before you knew it, years passed and I was still undefeated and about ready to face Techno Legend at WrestleMania 6. That was 3 years ago. Somehow I continued something that I really never thought would have gotten as big as it has gotten, and now it's time to say goodbye to that. I would like to thank all my opponents, from Greedy to Deathlock, and everyone in between for giving me such difficult matches. They brought the best out of me and truly made me earn each and every victory. But changing it back to Greedy. Greedy, you've put out some of the best matches I've seen within the past year, from your matches with Deathlock and Ratlock, with the Deathlock Me and You series. It was great, and I'm really happy that you ended up winning your Undisputed Superstar Championship. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. I'm very proud to being the first ever person that you have beaten for a main event championship all the way back in WWE 12. You've come a long way, and nothing has made me even more proud than you being hostile in a one-on-one for the Undisputed World Championship. I'm forever grateful for meeting you. You've been a great friend to me, so I hope I've been a great friend to you. But after all this, I would like to congratulate one of the most loyal EIF superstars ever, and also one of my best friends in joining the EIF Hall of Fame. Welcome, Greedy.
Well, that was heartwarming, and I couldn't tell if it was dehydration or actual teardrops that got Brutality choked up a couple times. Pretty sure he called this the EIF at one point. I don't know what that is, but I do know what EIF is. That's why we're here. So I'll be next year to induct Greedy, and obviously for some of you guys that are listening right now, maybe a little bit shocking for some of the things that were said. So again, we're here to induct Greedy. Before I get to formally inducting him, just a really quick talk about what Brutality said in terms of his Superstardom streak. You know, Brutality did something that the Undertaker of WWE could not, and that was maintain that streak. And if we look back at Undertaker and how that streak continued to go until ending Brock Lesnar, a lot of people to this day still don't know if he really should have lost the streak. A lot of people don't know to this day if that was the right decision. And I think WWE themselves probably asks themselves that question. I'm sure Vince might even ask himself that question once in a while, if he made the right call or not. And basically, as the owner of this league, I never wanted to question that. And I talked with Brutality Brutality a long time ago about this, and I think he's making the right decision. I think he's making the right decision for himself. I think he's making the right decision for the future of the Superstardom brand and all the competitors that are coming up through what has truly become a pipeline for main event talent. If you look at a lot of the guys in this league, including the guy I'm about to introduce right now, he's a guy that started out and found his calling through Superstardom before being able to ascend to the ED, the Extreme Distortion, the created content side of the main event. And I personally want to thank Brutality for all the matches that he has done. There was a lot of pressure on him for every match that he had. I think he fought well in all 20 some of those matches. And I think for him, this was the right time. And I think tonight was the right place to do that. And he's still going to continue to have a successful career on Extreme Distortion. And Superstardom is still going to thrive as what many have been arguing became the A brand of EIF over the course of the last calendar year. So thank you to that. Now, moving back to Greedy. For Brutality, Greedy was number one. Number one on that streak, and the beginning of what would be becoming something historic. But for me, I look back on Greedy and his match number one, not against Brutality, but all the way back to 2011. I remember a guy who's created guy, and this is a time where, keep in mind, this is the pre-stream era, right? So this is the pre-PG era too. And a lot of guys that were here in EIF then are not here today, unfortunately. But I remember Greedy's first guy looked like a leaking ketchup bottle. It looked like he wanted to be a part of the KWO, which Flip eventually let him in due to money. And but that wasn't the time that this was going on. So Greedy's guy, if I remember correctly, super huge muscles. He looked like a Gears of War cog with red hair and red eyes. No, like pupils, are just red eyes. And I used to think, oh my God, this guy has some shitty characters. I mean, these are fucking terrible. and fortunately, people through EIF as time went on, he got a little bit better at getting calls. And I think Harbor was one of the guys that helped him out initially, making him guys, and some other people may have helped him along the way. Now Greedy makes guys that actually look like they're humans. Yeah, exactly. And we saw some of those, but we didn't get a chance to get some of that footage from way back in 2011. So unfortunately, that wasn't there. But I don't think Greedy was wanting me to bring this up anyway. So I'm sorry, bud.
Nope.
But more to the point. So when Greedy joined EIF in 2011, there was a guy. I don't remember his name. But he was the leader of the league that Greedy had just quit or gotten fired
Ross
from.
Chisel.
And whatever his name is, for Chisel, my bizzle. But he went and told me in a private chat, because back then that was still a thing. And he just said, hey, listen, don't let him in your league. He's an idiot. He's annoying as hell. But if you do let him in your league, you're going to get money. And I was like, what do you mean, money? And he's like, he'll just pay you for anything. And this is something that's pretty taboo here on Twitch. We normally don't talk about this stuff, but whatever. This is the whole thing. This is the one night where we should probably leave the mature title back up. And that was an example when Brutality did his first botch. Hopefully he doesn't have any more at WrestleMania tomorrow night. But digressing from that point, Greedy was known to give money out for friends, and that was basically, he paid for friendships. And this is 2011, keep in mind. So Greedy's a kid, not really sure of what he's doing. And, these guys that were in this other league were taking advantage of him. So I didn't do that. And I told Greedy I didn't want to take advantage of him when he came here. But I got to admit, the one guy, he was right about a few of the things. One of the things he was right about is Greedy was annoying as hell. I mean, it was very hard for me to get along with Greedy. And at the end of that year, at the end of 2011, I ended up firing Greedy for just pissing me off, basically. I was in a bad mood. We were going through a very tough time at the end of 2011. And that would be the last time Greedy competed for, I think, over a year. And
like 8 months.
And we talked here. we talked here and there. It had to be around a year, dude. It definitely was around that.
I
I'd have to
came
look.
back, I think, October.
Fuck you. But either way, either way, it was a while. It was definitely a long time. And then, periodically throughout that time, Greedy and I occasionally talked, and we kind of did the tango, but never finished the dance, if you want to call it that. Talked a little bit about him getting back, and then there was always just one thing that kept us from officializing the deal. And finally, we did, and Greedy came back around roughly a year after his departure, and that would that will go down as probably one of the best decisions I've made in my 9 years thus far of owning EIF. Greedy was a guy, like I said, I go back to the calls. That call he had, the created wrestler he had, that was a trash created wrestler. And most of the people that had trash guys, normally they were trash at the game. And Greedy wasn't the best in 2011. He really wasn't the best in 2012. He wasn't the best in 2013. He was decent through both. He was decent in 14. He was all right. And he had his chances. And finally last year, Greedy crack code. First pay-per-view for EIF on 2K15. Again, this is still a few months before the pre-stream, before the stream era, before the EIF network. And it's Ultimate Destiny, and that would end up being Greedy's Destiny. He went on and he defeated Ratluck, who's getting inducted later tonight. Ratluck doesn't like that, but for Greedy's first undisputed championship, he defeated Ratluck in a skill finisher count match. I think it was 30 minutes, I want to say. And that was tough to do. And Ratluck was, coming up as a top-level talent. He had been in the main event of WrestleMania 7 for the Superstar title with Hybrid. They fought in the 1 hour-long Iron Man match. And for Greedy to do that was really, truly an eye-opener. And Greedy somehow found a way, unfortunately, to get snubbed of being in WrestleMania 8's main event. And so he found himself in Money in the Bank. Didn't work out for him. And then later in the year, he went on to win the Superstar title again. And I think, for me, the biggest night in Greedy's career that right now sticks out to me is Collision Course 2015. And Hostile was the undisputed world champion, and Legend Killer was supposed to fight Hostile. And unfortunately, I found out like 2 days before the event that Legend had something coming up, and it didn't look like he was going to make it. So I had to find somebody. Keep in mind, it was 2 days before the pay-per-view, so many people had already been booked. And I ended up having to use Greedy. And I thought, all right, whatever. I'm going to give him a shot. And Greedy and Hostile fight as the pre-main event. The Superstar title match ends up going last. And it was a great match. They fought back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Greedy was able to get Hostile down for the 1-2-3 and win his first Undisputed World Championship. And just hearing, how happy he was, really special for me, And I started this league out as a superstar and an owner. I was doing both. And I stopped wrestling more and more as EIF continued to progress because I began finding happiness through other people's success and not my own. And, to hear even though not everybody can always hear him on Twitch, unlike tonight, but to hear the excitement and the voices of some of these guys, and Greedy is one of the most passionate superstars in EIF, to hear the excitement from him and the energy, and just realizing, you kind of sit back for a moment and you realize, this is more than a video game to some of these guys. And what I did for him and what he's done for me in return as a superstar and so much more, and I'll get that, but for Greedy to be so happy and for me to make him, that happy and watch him, witness and watch him experience and live in that moment, it's such a good feeling for me as an owner. And that's really when you feel like you're doing your job, and it's a special moment. The last thing that I kind of want to talk about here before I mumble on, and this is one of the reasons why my speeches go long. I don't write my speeches down. Sometimes I do. But, for the Hall of Fame, I was debating on it about a week or two ago. I thought, you know what, I got to write something for everybody. But I really wanted to come from the heart here because I like to live in the moment. And here, being in this moment right now, being on the EIF network, being in a party with some of my closest friends over the last half decade on Xbox, this is living in the moment. And so for me, it's important to come from the heart. So with Greedy, as a superstar, he has went above and beyond. He has done so much and he's accomplished so much, especially in this past year. He's got over 15 championship reigns. And as I said, 2K15, as Brutality mentioned, was a career year for all three of these guys. So to experience and see Greedy have that success that he did was remarkable, and it was great. As a superstar, he's been very good. We've had our problems. Every superstar and I normally headbutt here and there. But as I said at the beginning of this, you're not always inducted for your stats and your skill. Greedy's induction is a combination of everything. As Brutality said, loyalties. Greedy has been so loyal to this league and has done everything he can. He's called off work. He's requested off for work. He got off all day tomorrow. Even though he's only got one match, he requested off all day so that way he could be here to experience WrestleMania for EIF. He's put real life friends to the side for this. His skill, that is there too. Greedy's been able to win multiple undisputed championships now. He's proven over the past year that he belongs in the main event. But sometimes dedication and loyalty, they go in with compassion. And that was something that I don't know if I can say that for the first or second classes back in 09, 2010 even. But on a personal note, what Greedy's meant for me, I've already talked about as a superstar, but what Brandon, has meant for me, a friend. I've been going through a lot of stuff in the last couple of years, and as the years go on, EIF gets harder and harder to run. That's why I named Brutality COO last year to help me out, and he's done a great job. And commitments in my life continue to accumulate. I'm 21 now. I'm not the same 12-year-old I was when I started this upstairs in my parents' computer room in 2007. A lot has changed in my life. And one thing I always say is that EIF has stayed the same. EIF evolves, but it's always been EIF for me. And so throughout all the pain, the good, the bad, over the last 9 years, this has always been there. And even though Greedy wasn't there all 9 years, the last 5 years, he's made so much easier for me on a personal level. We don't talk about this a lot on Twitch, and hopefully I'm not getting in trouble for this. Greedy, you've helped me out so much as a superstar competing here, but even more as a friend. You've helped me pay some of my bills even. And, through money, a lot of people complain. A lot of people have their opinions because Greedy has paid for things in EIF. And I promise he didn't pay for this speech or this induction. But, Greedy has earned a lot of things in this league too. But through money, for the name Greedy, he really should be called generous. This guy would give his last dollar to a friend that he knows over Xbox Live, not because he's an idiot, not because he's foolish, because he cares, because he appreciates friendship more than any person I've ever met on Xbox over my 9 years of having the 360 and the Xbox One. And Greedy's helped me so much. It's not easy going through college. I play ice hockey too, live 2 hours away from home. So I need to make, drives a lot, gas money, everything adds up, and I'm in school because I need to get a better job because I work at a minimum wage job. I don't have the money right now. That's why I'm in college to hopefully make something of myself. And during this time, Greedy has just made everything so much easier for me. I'm thankful for everybody who's put money into this league and just put their effort in. And I really mean that. No matter who you are, whether you donated no money or whether you're in 4 digits like Greedy, I'm thankful for everybody, but for Greedy to go above and beyond like that, I don't think there's ever been a superstar that's put that kind of care and dedication into this league as greedy as Brandon Marita's his real name. So look him up. But joking aside, I don't think there's ever going to be another guy like him again. This is a one of a kind person, and it's a good person. And man, I know you and I butt heads a lot, and I know we don't always see eye to eye, and I'm sure whenever the last time we argued will not be the last. But I want you to know here tonight, live on the network, just how thankful I am for everything you've done for me, and how much you've helped me over these last couple of years. Because man, if I wouldn't have had that support, I would be in so much more of a shitty situation than what I am in right now. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. I really mean that. And I'm extremely proud for you here tonight, regardless of what happens tomorrow night, Money in the Bank or not. I know you've got more World Championship reigns left in you, and I know you've got a lot of miles left to go in your EIF career. You may have over 400 matches, but I'm sure that number is going to keep going up. And just like my bank account is, thanks to you paying off of all of it. So with that, thank you so much, man. And now, the Hall of Fame inductee, as we get a few words from him, Brandon Maritas, the 23rd inductee into the Hall of Fame, you know him as By the Greedy.
Well, before I go into my speech, wow, I just wanted to say I really appreciate the speeches that we just heard. I almost cried because I was not expecting that, and I do have a speech written, but I'm actually just talking like I guess you can call it what's it called, impromptu. Um, you know, I just really appreciate what you guys just said about me. It really means a lot. I don't know who these people on Twitch going on right now, but thank you guys for showing your love. If I do know you, I'm sorry, but Preppy Kid, No Show Thomas, and everyone else appreciate the support. But I don't know. I think we deserve one more round of applause for everyone here today. So if we can get that, please, someone production. Thank you, thank you.
Great.
Okay. June 8th, 2011. It was me versus Paulie Dons. This was my first match and my official debut. From that point on, I would begin not only my career in EIF as a competitor, but establish my legacy as the $1 Million Princess. 5 years is a long time, and it definitely was not easy. I always felt the odds were stacked against me. Even from the very beginning, June 12th, 2011, a triple threat between me, Cosmic Hero, and Lil Greg. This match felt like a handicap match, as both my opponents did everything they possibly could to make sure I lost, but I prevailed. That win gave me my first title reign as the X Division champion. I always look back at the struggles in my career and ask myself, would I change anything? I have only one regret in my career in EIF, and that is leaving in 2012. I made a stupid threat to Carney, and I was exiled from EIF in December for almost the entire length of 2012. Believe it or not, there was one person that gave me another chance, and get ready to censor his name. That person was none other than legendary Finley.
Redacted. Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit.
I don't know what would have happened in 2012, but it's unfortunate that I couldn't create more of my legacy. However, when I did come back, I would end up creating more success for my career, but at the same time, truly unleash the power of money. People always assume my methods of using money as an accomplishment is flawed and unjust. What people fail to recognize, I never bought titles. I just bought the opportunities.
I see what you did there.
Truth be told, my first Undisputed Superstardom Championship reign occurred by beating 4 other people in a Hell in a Cell match, just to say I was the #1 contender. Like Carney said, I then had to go on to defeat Radluck in a finisher count as well. My first undisputed world title came from defeating one of the best in the EIF, being Hostile Exile. I was given that opportunity from the CEO, Brutality. Though money is a big factor in my EIF career, it did not create my skill nor my dedication to being a league such as EIF. The true reason why I paid comes down to two words. I believed. I know this is considered fake. I know this is on a video game system. And I know these accomplishments can't be put on my resume. But
You can always try.
you know what I believe? It was real. When I believe in something, I invest in it. The atmosphere this league has created through the announcements of my entrance, to the live commentary, to the actual storytelling, made me believe. I believed in this league so much that I would withstand all the negativity people say about me, saying, oh, he'll never hold a main event title, let alone both. Well, you know what? I did it. And not just both of them, but multiple times. When I did, I felt like I won the lotto. That's how much I cared and believed in this league. Now I can proudly state to everyone here today, March 3rd, 2016, I am a 5-time world champion. Whether you decide to agree with me or not, this league is real. The people, the friendships, the rivalries, the competition, the accomplishments, they're real. This is not a script, even though sometimes we want it to be. We as the EIF superstars start our careers and hope that we can mold it into a legacy. Now I get to be recognized for that legacy I have created by the ultimate form, being the Hall of Fame. Now though this is my career, it would not be shaped the way it was without the help of some EIF superstars along the way. Tripod. Thank you for creating what many people would say is an ultimate rivalry in EIF. Boy, have we done it all. From regular one-on-ones to double title matches to career matches at the biggest stage of them all. Though we have had many historical matches, one match I will never forget is our one-on-one where Hostile had to watch. It came down to 10 finishers hit on me, 9 hit on you, and I reversed the pin and hit you with the finisher to get the victory.
I remember that.
Hostile.
Fuck you.
Hope you're actually listening to this. Thank you for being a part of my history to win the ultimate jewel of EIF, being the Undisputed World Championship. Though you were not victorious, you made me give it my all and really dig deep to show people I deserve to be a main eventer. That is something I will never forget. Hybrid and Ratluck, thank you for just helping me with my attires, my entrances, the videos when I needed it. I'll never forget WrestleMania 7, career match, there can only be one. Brutality. Though I consider you one of my best friends in EIF, you have helped me in so many ways, stirring me to the path of success. You always had my best interest for me. At one point, I remember no one believed in me except for you. You have given me the chance to adapt to new environments when we do player matches. You gave me opportunities to accomplish new things like my world title reign, but above all that, you gave me the hope I needed to keep going when my back was against the wall. For that, I truly say thank you. Lastly, but not least, in fact, probably the most important of them all, my mom and her money. No, I'm kidding. Carney, where do I begin? Well, let me just try to sum this up because I can talk about this all day. Thank you for just giving me the opportunity to compete in this incredible league. Your league and your unique style of formatting has been a major motivation for me to truly have fun here on Xbox. I know that there have been times we just really hated each other and we were at each other's throats, but regardless, you kept me here. And I know it wasn't because of my money. Regardless, like I said, there are many things I can say because you were just too big of a cause for me to be in IF. But I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you for letting me be here. No matter what happens to this league, You will always be a friend to me, and I will always have EIF in my life. I know at times I can be rough to deal with, maybe, more than a couple of times. And some people just can't stand me. But I really am happy to be here, and I'm grateful for having the pleasure of meeting all of you in EIF. Whether you want to admit it or not, I hope it's the same feeling back as well. You guys are not my friends. You guys are my family. I want to thank you one more time for this amazing honor. And never forget, it's all about the money.
The money.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
That was very good. That was very good. I was very happy about that. It was a great speech, Greedy, and we're going to have many more. Delayed clapping? All right, sounds good. This audience is all over the place. So, guys, after that, hopefully you guys didn't take a piss during it or miss anything. Here's your chance to. We'll be right back. We're coming back on for our second inductee of the evening. He's controversial in the ring online, but he's even more of a hassle when it comes to buffet tables. Look out. If your plate's full, he's about to empty it. Coming up next, Tripods video, followed by the induction ceremony.